So why send a letter to AHS if it's not going to accomplish anything?
You know, my letters are brilliant, and they always accomplish magical things. You know, look, it is very, very clear that fluoridation is one thing, and it is something that under which the city had some control. And I'm still a little bit surprised that whether you're in favor or against it, the council didn't vote to get free information from experts. Why wouldn't you want information? But the opponents of fluoridation are correct in saying there is a bigger issue here around increasing rates of tooth decay, around dental health, around access to dental services, and advocating for that to be part of what this province does is not a bad thing to do.
So do you really think it will have an effect on AHS?
You know, probably not tomorrow, but as they're developing their future plans, as they're developing their budgets going forward, the fact that we're bringing to their attention that access to dental care, particularly for low-income children in the city, is something that's on our radar. You know, it may assist them in thinking about their budgets going forward.
Are you looking forward to perhaps one day in the far-off future having a sandstone quarry in the middle of Calgary Park?
I actually really am. I think that it would, as we look at historic City Hall and the massive renovation we're doing to historic City Hall, which has me kicked out of my office, or the mayor kicked out of his or her office for 4 years, and we realize that a lot of the sandstone buildings in Calgary, whether they're schools or along Stephen Avenue, are roughly the same age. To have a source of stone to do the historical rehabilitation of those buildings that's mined here and masoned here, if that's a verb, is a good thing. And so, you know, it may not work, but it would be nice to be able to use the historic stone from its historic sources.
And then just lastly, when we spoke last week about Great Plains Rec facility when it opened, you had urged people to have council this schedule get in touch with their councillor or you. Have you heard complaints in the past week?
Have we heard complaints in the past week, Katie?
A handful, yeah.
A handful. We have heard a handful. I did get a little more information on that, which is that Hockey Calgary, which is minor hockey, which is mostly kids, has about 60% of prime time across the system, and they have about 57% of prime time at Great Plains. The thing we have to remember, though, is that these rec facilities are for everybody. So when you look at soccer, for example, there's kids soccer, women's soccer, men's soccer, co-ed soccer, and they have to coexist. And similarly, in Great Plains, we also want adults playing soccer. We want women playing hockey. We want adults playing hockey. We want women playing hockey. Beer leagues are actually a good thing. They get people active and healthy. And that's really what our goal is here. And you're always going to have a mix, and you're always going to have a little bit of tension. But obviously, we're going to be smart about this, right? The adult men can play later than the kids can play, and you just try to sort that out.
So if that's not happening, if there's adult men playing at 5 p.m. or 6 p.m., do you think the city needs to intervene?
No, I don't think so. Because as I say, the kids have access to about 60% of primetime slots across the system. And as long as we're close to that at Great Plains, that makes sense, because not all people can also come at 10 o'clock at night. You might have kids to put to bed. You might be able to go just after work. We want to make sure that this is available to as many people as possible across the day and across the week.
And why was the decision made to try the privatization model at that facility?
Oh, there was an RFP, and we put it out to nonprofits, private sector, everybody, just as we do with all of our facilities. And in this case, that was actually the best deal. It was the cheapest, it was the most effective, and it had the maximum ice time.